So I was on Sony camera rumors, and well, they were like totally wild specs on the A7 IV. And while I was looking at them, and they're not too wild to me, to be honest. I mean, I guess comparatively to the A7 III, it's a little bit wild. But yeah, I mean, let's just go over this, and I got it on my phone right here, and we'll just, yeah, we'll see what it's all about. Alright, so we're just going to go over some of the things here. So launch in October if chip supply permits. Now, obviously, chip shortage is a huge thing right now when it comes to any electronic devices right now. So across the board, a lot of brands are having a struggle putting products out on the shelves because of this. So launch in October? Yeah, I could see that. I don't know if they're going to match it with other electronic companies when they launch things, because October, there's an Apple event supposedly. So we'll see if, you know, everyone gets kind of overwhelmed at that time, but that's usually when a lot of electronic companies release stuff, and you know, broke people like us can not buy everything all at once. So that's gonna be fun. Okay, so the next one is newly developed 33 megapixel sensor. Now, a lot of people were speculating that there may be 8K on this, and let's be fair now, we have the A1 that is actually 8K, and then you have the A7S III, which is supposed to be video first, that has only 4K. So if you really kind of go off of that, I don't think this will be, although it's supposed to be a hybrid between video and photo, I don't think it's supposed to be more superior to the A7S III, because let's face it, that camera, like almost every YouTuber has now, which, well, I wouldn't say every YouTuber who is successful enough to afford it, or they're rich enough to afford it from the very beginning. And also another fact is, if you didn't notice, that for you to have 8K resolution on a camera sensor, a full frame sensor that is, 35mm, you need to at least have 33.17 megapixels. However, yes, this is 33 megapixels, but to have 8K in a body that's the same size, apparently rumored to be just as big as the A7R IV, there's a problem with when it comes to heat dissipation. So we're not sure if that's obviously going to be the thing. If it does have 8K, great. But if it doesn't, totally understand. I don't think it's going to happen. However, that doesn't mean that this camera cannot have 6K on the camera, because it's a 33 megapixel camera. Sensor, not camera, sensor. All right, so the next thing I want to go over is 5.5 stops of IBIS plus AS. So IBIS has been a huge thing with Sony. It hasn't really been a great thing in Sony. Let's just face it, Sony doesn't really have the best in-body stabilization throughout the camera lines. But when it comes to A7S III, sure, I mean, when you crop something in, sure, you can get really good active stabilization, digital stabilization, and sensor stabilization. But again, I hope they do improve on that. Again, 5.5 isn't that groundbreaking per se, but yeah, I mean, it is what it is. They have it. I'll take it. Seriously, these dark clouds are closing in. The only blue sky is like literally right there. And then everything else is cloudy. And look at that. I think it's already raining down there. So I gotta finish this video up real quick. Okay, so let's get into the rest of the details. So 4K 60 frames per second. Again, yeah, sure. I mean, I'm not surprised. Full HD at 240. This brings a question to my mind that whether they're gonna have the 180 frames, whether they're gonna have 120 frames per second for 2.7K. That's gonna make it better than the previous version, obviously, but it's also not gonna overpower the A7S III. So yeah, we'll see if that happens. It says 10 frames per second here. I'm guessing that's just shutter. It says huge buffer on here. If you guys want to go check this out, this is on the Sony Alpha Rumor site, so you guys can go check it out. It was an article written on August 30th, 2021. Okay, and then world's fastest autofocus. Let's face it, Sony as of right now has world's fastest autofocus anyways. So, well, in my opinion, if you guys have a different opinion, so be it, but that's just my opinion. All right, so the next feature is GPS on camera. Now, when I look at this, I think of metadata. Maybe there's a possibility of sharing your photos or videos right to your phone and then just sharing it and possibly automatically recognizing where that photo or video was taken. But more realistically, I think this is more having to do with metadata and just being able to organize your files by location. So that's going to be useful, I think, for organization. So I don't know. That's just my thought. If you guys have any other opinions about that, comment down below. New HDR processing, similar results to smartphones. So now we're going to have HDR automatic HDR, so you don't have to do bracketing probably. I also think that computational photography is something that's going to get molded into a mirrorless camera eventually. Like, we're already having camera manufacturers like Sony, like Leica, like any other camera brands like Canon as well. They are all collaborating with smartphone manufacturers to have their cameras in your phone. So most likely the phone that you currently have has the technology of a camera brand that's out there currently. All right, so that is it as far as the list goes. But if you guys have any wishes or maybe other things that I've missed here or other things that they missed, it's always good to hear other people's opinion on what Sony should do or shouldn't do and stuff like that. So let me know. Again, if you really want 8K, okay, this is just going back to the 8K, Sony will at least need a comfortable 40 megapixel sensor to be able to handle 8K, okay? Just take a look at the A1. If you guys like this video, please smash the like button and subscribe if you are new. Turn on those notifications for future videos, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!